the best advice that someone ever gave you?
Golf's a marathon, not a sprint.
I've heard that before.
Wayne Gretzky actually said that to me at Nabisco this year because he saw my struggle and I went 5 over, 5 under, 5 over, 3 under. It was crazy. And he goes, you need to relax. It's a marathon. You're running to the finish line.
How were you first introduced to golf?
I was 12 when I started. I made the Open when I was 14, but I started when I was 12. I started quite late. But yeah, people mix that up because Lexi Thompson made it when she was 12. So I was 14 at that time, so that was kind of like, oh, but she's 12 too. I go, no. She's 6 foot tall, 12-year-old. I was like 4 foot 5.
So Gianna asked us another question. Who is your role model?
My role model. It changes in time. Right now, I would say my role model is probably Dustin Johnson still. He's been my role model this year because I never met him, and I met him in the last couple years. And I've been playing a lot of golf with him, and he's just so down to earth, and he doesn't talk about, he doesn't go crazy on the golf course. Everything's very calm, everything's very, everything's okay in his world. Even if he's not playing good, everything's okay. And I haven't really met anyone else where everything's okay. Like, this guy has no worries. So he's my role model where, he just wakes up in the morning, goes and works out, comes to the golf course, practices, and just happiest guy ever. And he became my role model after I started meeting him.
What about when you started? Did you have a female role model that kind of got you
Annika
going?
Sorenstam was my role model. She was just such a boss, She was crushing it. I mean, she made everything. She won about 60% of the field every time she played a golf tournament. And of course, I loved Tiger. I still do. I think he's one of the most inspiring golfers of all time. As putting aside everything, he works so hard. I've always watched that commercial where he says there's no rainy days for him. There's definitely rainy days.
So how many total holes in one have you had?
So far, I had 5 in the last year. And I holed out, I think, 8 times. That's not hole-in-ones, that's just holding out. So I actually holed out, I made a hole-in-one, and then hole-in-one, and then I holed out the next 2 days, next 2 weeks again. But it was from the fairway, it was not a big deal. But I mean, if players started throwing things at me.
How were you able to get into professional golf?
So,
Competition?
well, I mean, I don't know if you guys know about the procedure. You have to go to qualifying school and get through qualifying school, then play, get top 20 on the money list, and then you go to the tournaments and you have to perform. The top 100 keeps the card. I mean, there's so much process. I didn't make it perfectly. I actually got last of the person that gets the card when I made Q school, and I was really depressed, but you still have opportunities. So even if you don't get the card, you could play well by another way, Monday into the tournaments, qualifying to tournaments, and I don't know, everything just works out smoothly kind of thing. I was stressed then, but if I look at it now, I kind of went with the whole flow. If you didn't make this one, you go to the next one. You didn't make that one, you go to the next one, and that's how I just got my full card. I wanted to play pro, so I left college, and all my friends are in college, and I'm sitting at home waiting to play in a tournament, and that wasn't fun. But I mean, not everyone could just get into a tournament and play, so you just have to accept it, and if you want to go for it. And my mom and my dad kept telling me to go try it for Monday qualifying. It cost a lot of money, but you just got to do what you got to do, and I'm fortunate to have my parents tell me to go and do it, and I did and made it. I mean, it's all opportunities at the end of the day too, and you just got to be patient and just keep working at it, and your time will come.
Do you want to say anything about the Gretzky sponsorship? I know they've been very gracious to sponsor our first T Kids here today, and we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, it's very nice of them. My friend now is, the CEO of Gretzky Hockey School, and he wanted to get the word out there. It's pretty awesome, to see your friend start a new company, and he's one of my best friends who could also help out with the first tee when I need him to, and then I could go and help out whenever he needs me to. So it's a great friendship. It's more than a sponsorship. It's just a friendship to me for a lifetime, and I mean they've supported me since I started, and they've helped me get Sherwood membership, and that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome, yeah. So one question also was, what do you think it takes to become an LPGA Hall of Famer?
What it takes. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of dedication, perseverance, and like time. It's patience as well. And I think everything that the first tee teaches are great. Like I wish I had a first tee that I went to when I was younger. I started so late that I didn't have first tee. I didn't go to first tee, but everything they teach are the things I'm still trying to learn, even on the LPGA tour. Being patient with even people.
How do you focus on your game through it all?
My new coach, David Ledbetter, has given me practice schedules. For an hour and a half, you just focus on putting, then you take 30-minute break, or another hour you just focus on hitting. Or on Tuesday you do this. It's finding out your own practice sequence in order for you to stay focused. And when you go back to the golf course, you take how focused you were on the range on the real shot. So when I have a really difficult shot, and I really imagined it on the range, and that means that was a great focus on the range, and that was a great practice session, then I take it to the tournament, and that one shot counts. So.
How do you handle nerves on the 18th hole when you have a putt to win, and if you don't make it, you lose?
I can't speak for everyone, but I love the thrill. I love it. When I started to find out my pattern, where if I play really well on the first day and I'm in the final group, on the third day I have groups following. I feed off of the cheer. I like it when people are loud at me. Like I would stand over the putt, and I'm not nervous I'm really excited because I know how much this means to my career and everything, and I know how excited my parents are going to be. I really enjoy it, and the pressure, you just got to think, my mom always says, what's the worst that can happen? You're going to miss. I don't know if that's good advice, but I take it. I sang over this putt, and I think it was like a 15-footer. I hit it to 15 feet from the first putt. So I'm going to 3-putt to miss the cut here. And I looked at it, I go, oh my goodness, I'm going to miss the cut by 3-putting. This is ridiculous. And then I'm thinking, what's the worst that could happen? I'm going to miss the cut. I'm not going to, nothing's ever going to happen. I go, yeah, you're right. I just slammed it back in the cup. And I made the cut. You just got to think, what's the worst that could happen? Nothing really.
How do you like your job as golfing?
How do I like my job? I love it. I really like it, actually. Like, you get to see things that a lot of people don't get to see. And I forget how fortunate I am a lot of times, but I was just going on a plane, and this lady was saying, I've never been on a plane before. I go, oh dear, she's gonna cry. But I've been on a plane. I cry about going to get on a plane because I don't want to go on a plane again. But she's so excited going on the plane. It's just a lot of fun to see, and you get to see all the different things in the world.
Is there anything that you do to kind of prepare for a competition?
Your practice routine is basically your warm-up. Like, everyone does the same thing their own way. So I like to putt first, and I only warm up for 45 minutes. But I'm very quick warm up. I stretch like when I'm in the locker room, and I go eat, and I hang around, have some chocolate milk, go putt, go hit, chip, and then putt, and then I hang around for 10 more minutes. And when you do it so many times, it becomes a routine.
Not that foot. There you go. In golf, little means literally like this. And then which one you want to target? You can be aggressive, Max. There you go. Good shot. All right.
Bye.